Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic. Today is going to be another town update, and you can see our new vehicle here, the backhoe. Now, this update really doesn't have a theme to it. I've been all over the place working on just little bits here and there with the town, so I'm going to go over everything that I've done. Now, the next town update, a lot of people have been asking me like how my scheduling works. The next town update will be Friday. I do a town update or whatever projects I'm working on in Scrap Mechanic are going to be Tuesday, Friday, and then Saturday I have an additional episode of Scrap Mechanic, and that might be a viewer creation or it might be some multiplayer. It kind of depends on what I'm feeling. But yeah, I'm going to kind of drive through, and this thing is just a little bit slow. I'm going to have to adjust the electric motors down here. But this thing functions pretty good. There's a couple things that I would like to change. It's just kind of, I'm limited by Scrap Mechanic's controllers. Like, I would love to have more control over the front and the back, but I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and drive over to the construction site. Now, this was from the last episode. There was three vehicles here. I forgot about the truck. We had the grader, we had the steamroller, and we had the truck. So let me get over here real quick, and I'm going to adjust these motors, and we'll get them all ready to go here. Alright, this is our first vehicle. I've increased the motor power. I didn't realize that it was that low. This thing is extremely heavy. You can have a look at the spider web here. Pretty complicated. I've used every button except for I think I've got one more slot. But this thing, I was really confused how to do this. At first I wanted to control the arms with electric motors, which it works to an extent, but the way they would come back and rest, like they wouldn't stay stationary like if they're on a controller. So I had to put everything on controllers, but that does limit you a little bit about the movement. You have to actually go in there and change it, and that's one thing I don't like about Scrap Mechanic, and hopefully that changes where we can get something where we can get a little bit more dynamic control to a lot of these things, because I would love to be able to use this arm the way I want to use it, but unfortunately I can't right now. But yeah, you can see, let's go ahead and take it off. I'll kind of give you a peek under it. There's electric motors, there's tons of controllers down here, and there's actually a couple up in the body. I just left this bottom open, that way I can have access to those controllers. So let's set it down. Actually, I'm going to move it over a little bit. I get a little bit of lag on that side of the construction site. I'm not really sure why. There's nothing to break it up. I've even cut the road just to see if it was some lag over there, but I don't really know what's causing it. Anyways, let's go ahead and let this down. Now, I do have one more really big vehicle, and I haven't actually spawned it. It's terrible when it comes to lag, so I'll pull that out here in a second. Go ahead and close the door. You got the roof hatch here if you need to escape the top. You can almost get out the sides. The roof's almost tall enough, it kind of pops you out. But yeah, let's give you a view of the inside. Very cozy in here. One thing I would have liked to have been able to do to work the back part here, a lot of these seats would actually spin around, but with Scrap Mechanic, like, this is the smallest seat, and I can't get this thing to spin around because there's not enough room in the cockpit. I guess I could have made it bigger, but it just wouldn't look right. And another thing probably some people were pointing out is the fact that normally these things have smaller front wheels than the back wheels, but there again, Scrap Mechanic has really small wheels. I could have downloaded the Grego mod and had a bigger variety, but I like to keep my things vanilla, especially the whole fact this is going to be on the workshop. So anyways, the second key, actually no, that's the third key, raises that up. You can dump the bucket. Now, I don't have it where you can go down and like scrape the ground. That's the one problem I'm running into. I could have put another bearing there and put them on electric motors, but when it's so heavy, when it would come to its resting position, it would drag the whole time. So you'd have to spam the key to try to keep it up, or put some sort of locking mechanism down there. So until Scrap Mechanic gets some sort of parts where we can actually really adjust the control, or maybe make some changes to the controller itself, that's kind of the way this is going to have to be. You can always go in there and change it up however you see fit, but it's just the way I thought that this was going to have to be for now. Now, the back one moves a little more than the front one moves, so you have these little legs that you can lock down, and it'll pin it down a little bit. Actually, it's a little off the ground. But yeah, you can extend it out and move it around. You can actually move it from left and right, so you can adjust that. You can scoop the bucket, and it does move a little bit. Probably not as much as it should, but There again, I haven't really seen many really working backhoes in Scrap Mechanic. I've seen some bulldozers, and those are a little easier to do because you just have the front arm. There's not a lot of movement there, but I'm really pleased with the way it came out. It actually looks good to me. This is probably one of my favorite vehicles. This is probably my favorite construction vehicle. The other one I have is really cool too, and actually I think I'm stuck here. Not sure why. Let me go ahead and get those up. Let's open the doors up, see if I can get out this way. It's kind of tight in here, so let me get out. There we go. Yeah, you can actually use the doors. But yeah, this thing's really cool. I'll put it up on the workshop. I just knew like I needed one more. Well, actually, I have 2 more vehicles, but I know I needed something with like a bucket on it. So between this and a bulldozer, I think this was the better option. It's a little bit more versatile. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and put this over. Let's get this out of the way. These other vehicles you see here from the last episode, there's the grader and there's the steamroller. You can download those on the workshop too. So. Alright, I'm trying to think where I want to spawn the next vehicle because this thing is a monster and this thing was a pain in the butt to make. Let me go ahead and spawn it out here. It's going to be the safest spot. I'll try to drive it into town. A lot of you guys said for the construction site you wanted to see a crane, and I was like, alright, well, that's fair enough. Cranes are kind of weird to do in Scrap Mechanic because a lot of times you're going to have some sort of chain to come down, and I've done that once, and even on this new vehicle, I don't have it. It creates the most lag ever. If you, I have a buddy, Colin, he had a mobile crane and he had a chain on it. It lags so bad, so it's kind of one of those things we're waiting on Scrap Mechanic to take care of that. But here's my mobile crane. Now, this thing is a beast. There's so many suspension pieces. I actually had to take some off the back. You can see the spots where I actually had 3. I kept 3 where it turns just because I needed that little bit extra turnability, and it seemed like that actually helped. But yeah, this thing is a monster, and it lags. It might not lag too bad out here, but it lags when it's in town. So let's go ahead and take it down. Yeah, it does give off a little bit of lag. It's not terrible, but more than I'd like to see. Now let me go ahead and get in here. There's not many controls to the front because everything controls from the rear. But it drives fine. It actually drives really good. Handles good. It's made completely out of metal. Everything except for the arm on the crane is made out of metal. I couldn't do that arm out of metal because the controllers, like the motors, anything I threw at it, it would not support it. I even threw an arm under it to try to help it lift it up, but it just would not go up. So we had to go with the wooden arm, but I did disguise it a little bit. I put some of those slanted blocks to kind of make it look like it's metal, so it doesn't look too bad. But yeah, it drives really good. I used electric motors, and the rear door's open. But yeah, I used electric motors to power this thing. The only bad thing about electric motors, when you stop them, it stops almost instantly. So you get a little bit of this weight shift to the front, and the nose will dip a little bit. Probably wouldn't have this issue if this was gas motors, but this thing drives really good. I mean, this is almost like I think it was like the Maz military vehicle I had. That's a pretty early video. I think it was probably a couple months ago. Almost like it, except for this one handles much better, and it's really versatile. Suspension parts work good. Now, I could have cut the suspension down. I think that would have saved a little bit of the lag, but I don't know. I don't plan on using this vehicle too much. It's kind of one of those things when I build these vehicles, I just kind of put them out there for you guys. I don't really go back and play with them too much. I normally play with other people's vehicles because I'm discovering new things, so I pretty much know everything there is to know about this vehicle. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the back. Let's park it somewhere. Now, the one thing that I need to add to this, and I kind of forgot about it, it needs arms that come out and actually stabilize it like the backhoe has. Like, I'd like to have some that maybe come out the sides here and hit the ground and keep this thing. It doesn't want to tip, but to me, it would just look more realistic, so let's go ahead and hop into the back seat here and let's close the door. Oh, that's the roof hatch. One of these is a door hatch. There we go. But this thing, once again, is limited to the controllers. But this thing can raise all the way up, and it can turn, so I can turn it all the way, kind of wherever I want to. Now you have to spam the 3 key to keep the arm in the air. I could have made it rest in like a stationary position, like as soon as I hit that controller and it goes up to one angle and stops. But to me, that would make it basically impossible to grab anything. Like, it's going to be hard to grab anything anyways with this hook. But say you had like a pallet of just random materials that had a little thing on top of where you can hook, you'd be able to hook it and lift it. Now, as far as will the controller be able to handle the weight, I'm not 100% sure there. That's a really good question. Oh, got a big shift there. But yeah, I don't know if it'd be able to handle the weight. These are really kind of tricky to make. Now, I would have liked to have had a chain, but it's already lagging so bad right now. The chain would have only made this like 10 times worse, but it does spin all the way around. I like the way it looks. I mean, I'm proud of it. It took forever because I was really frustrated with the whole fact that I couldn't put like a chain on here or make it extend out even further. So that was a little frustrating, but let me go ahead and line it back here. It should fall into place. I actually need to shift over. Nope, wrong way. There we go. And it locks right there. Yeah, I like the way it looks. It's going to be on the workshop like my other vehicles, so you can try this out. Heck, you might even be able to make it your own and make it work. It's fine in like a flat world. Like, it doesn't lag too bad, and I don't know why it's stressing. I'm watching this thing flex, and I'm watching the bearings shift. It didn't do this earlier, so I don't know what's causing that. Might just be the whole lag of the world here. But yeah, let me go ahead and exit this, but I'm going to get this thing out of here because I don't need this setting here. So I'm going to delete this, and we'll go show you the last thing that I was working on. So let's get rid of this, and we're going to head over to the other side of the map real quick. Alright, I've had a lot of comments about this one. I started this project probably about a month ago, and I just never went back to it. A lot of you guys want to see some sort of ranger station, and I finished the Watchtower. Now, I still want to have some sort of station for like a, I don't know, like a headquarters, but I did actually finish the tower, and I'm actually really happy with the way it came out. It looks good, and I've added another vehicle. Now, this vehicle is, realistically, I think it's a copy of the Bronco, except for I cut the top off. I extended it out, I think, by 2 blocks. Thank goodness for the weld tool. The weld tool helps so much. I was able just to cut the vehicle in half, add the 2 blocks, cut the roof off, and I was able to go in here and weld a couple things and fix it up. It just needed to be a little bit longer, so this is something that will also be on the workshop. You can drive it around. It's a kind of a fun vehicle. It's got plenty of power. Like, I knew the park ranger needed his own vehicle, so this is definitely something that I wanted to come up with. Also, the toolbox opens up here in the back too, so you got that. But yeah, you have that. Have a little bit of a picnic area here. You have a outhouse, so when you go to the bathroom. I plan on adding more to this. Like, you guys want to see some sort of park, so that's on the agenda. But one thing I'm disappointed about in this map, and I just now noticed it earlier, is this is like one of the highest peaks on the map. There's not a huge mountain on here. Like, sometimes the map will randomly generate one, and there's not one on here. This is like one of the highest peaks, which kind of sucks because I really wanted to do something on a mountain. So still trying to figure out what I want to do there, but let's go ahead and go up into this. This thing's pretty cool. But yeah, between this, I know you guys want to see an airport, and I'm still figuring that out. I've got another world going, a flat world, that's where I do a lot of these vehicles now, and I'm working on some prototypes for planes, and it's just going to take a little bit because my time is kind of limited right now. Work's been pretty crazy, so that's kind of, well, I wouldn't say this town update's actually small. I mean, I've got 3 vehicles, and I finished this thing, but I don't know, maybe I just put too much pressure on myself and I want like bigger town updates each time. But yeah, here's the inside of this. You've got a little sleeping area. Of course, you gotta have a radio. You can come out here and look out. It's actually got a really nice view of the town. You got that. I was thinking for like an airfield, it might be out there, so got that. But yeah, really nice and cozy in here. I like it. The stairs were very fun to do. It was trying to figure out how I wanted to wind these around. It was almost going to be 4 wide, but I decided to go 3 wide just because this thing needed to spiral all the way down. I almost put an elevator on it, and I said, well, that doesn't seem right for a watchtower, so I decided to go with this design, but I really like it. But yeah, that's about it for the town update today. Now, like I said, we're going to have another one on Friday. I'm not really sure what it's going to be based on. I can't guarantee one thing right now, just with the way my real work's working. So I'll try to get as much done for you guys as possible. Now, this will be available to download like always, but I know that not many people can run it anymore because it's just there's like so much going on that I've heard it like it crashes the game or it just doesn't load up. Some people still can play with this, but I'll at least get all the new vehicles on the Steam Workshop, so if you'd like to check that out. Also, my Steam group, I'll link it in the description. Anytime something's going to happen or if I need to interact with you guys, you can join me there. But yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to actually play some more Polybridge. I'm kind of going back and playing some new games. I need to introduce some new games to the channel since I can only do about 3 episodes of Scrap Mechanic and they normally take a long time to do. So that's about all I can do for the week and I don't want to get burnt out on it. So I'm thinking that, so we'll do Polybridge tomorrow, another random game probably on Wednesday. Or actually, yeah, Thursday. And then we'll wrap back around, do another town update, and then maybe we'll do something fun in Scrap Mechanic for Saturday. I don't know, maybe another multiplayer video, maybe a viewer creation. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do there, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel as always. But yeah, keep commenting below, giving me suggestions. I've got a good plan for what I want to do here, because I'd like to continue this. You guys love this town series, and I love doing it for you, so keep commenting below, tell me what you want to see, and join us tomorrow if you'd like to for Polybridge. I don't know, something random's going to come on Thursday, and then Friday, be back here for another town update. So anyways, we will see you guys next time. Thank you.